2016 was an extremely polarizing year, and I'm not just talking about politics. Joining us with a look back at some of the highs and lows in fashion in 2016 is WSJ's fashion and culture columnist, Christina Binkley. Good to see you, Christina.
Nice to see you, Shelby.
It was a rocky year. Let's start with fashion and politics, because the election dominated headlines. How did two of the prominent figures, very different figures, on the campaign trail, Hillary Clinton and Melania Trump, make their mark?
Talk about polarizing, right?
Yeah.
I have to say, in so many ways, I thought things happened in fashion on the campaign trail that I never thought would happen. I never would have expected to see people actually trying to dress like the candidate, but that's something that came out. The pantsuits for Hillary phenomenon really it took me by surprise. There was a run out. Pantsuits were selling out in thrift stores as well as in department stores as women were buying pantsuits to go out and campaign for Hillary Clinton. So that was a remarkable one. And then, of course, we have Melania coming in as the first lady to be, and several designers came out and said that they would not dress her, something else that has never happened before in history as far as I can recall.
Well, and she's very stylish. I'm not sure she needs their help. But how are designers saying about feeling goodbye to First Lady Michelle Obama?
I think they're weeping. I don't know a single designer that isn't sorry to see Michelle Obama go. She did more for the fashion industry, particularly the American fashion industry, than any designer any first lady in memory. She wore challenging looks. She wore emerging designers, and she wore them well. People love her for it.
Yeah, style icon. All right, next up, it was a year also marked by terrorism and fear, and that sparked backlash against a certain type of bathing suit in Europe, the burkini. How did that play out?
You know, I can still squirm at some of the photographs I saw taking place on the beaches in the south of France of police with machine guns standing over women who were shrouded in these bathing suits, not one I would want to wear, but in keeping with their religion's modesty, and being told these women were told they needed to remove the burkini cover-up, which sort of left their hands and their faces exposed. It made the world uncomfortable, and actually sort of created a backlash where people were supporting modest dressing of Muslim women.
Right, and of course the ban was overturned, but that was a pretty incredible moment. It wasn't all doom and gloom, I have to say. One designer in particular had an outstanding year, or one fashion house. Tell us about Gucci's year.
Oh, to be Gucci. This is actually the second year of the Gucci phenomenon. It went really wide. It's huge. You can't look at a Gucci executive it doesn't have a huge Cheshire cat grin on their face right now. All things Gucci have been popular, from their accessories, the craziest, zaniest looking clothing you can possibly imagine. They're selling out those GG logo belts and bags like crazy. They're just hot, hot, hot.
Right. We're looking at some crazy shoes right now. Even those fly off the shelves. Every year, at the end of the year, we look back to remember those who are no longer here, and we lost so many fashion icons in 2016, from Prince to George Michael. But one style icon that stands out actually comes from the world of sports, which is pretty rare. Tell us about remembering Craig Sager.
Yeah, he's probably the most unexpected fashion icon, particularly for the fashion crowd. I will say, by the way, I want to mention Franca Zozani. You're right. We continued to lose fashion icons throughout the year, even in the last few days. Franca Zozani, who was the esteemed editor of Vogue Italia, died just a few days ago. She was very, very well known in the fashion industry and drove a lot of what we know as fashion today. So I want to make note of her. But Craig Sager was known to sports fans, famous for his courtside interviews and for his completely wild, outlandish, indescribable fashion taste. I really hope that some fashion museum curator will zoom in and talk to his family about curating some of those. There need to be exhibitions. Nobody had color and pattern choice like Craig Sager.
Right. He was a bold man. And last but not least, it wasn't easy keeping up with the Kardashians this year. Kim got robbed in Paris. That was a horrible robbery. Kanye's fashion show flopped. Kendall graced all kinds of runways. Kylie's cosmetics store was a smash hit. How is this family influencing fashion, and what can we expect from them in 2017?
More and more and more. I don't think, again, a ton
Never
of
ends.
unexpected things. No, it doesn't ever end, and it's not going to end in 2017 at all. My guess is we're going to see maybe a little less of Kim. She's taken a backseat. That robbery was clearly very traumatic for her, and I don't know that she's going to be out in the same way now, at least for a while, than she has been. But we're seeing some of her sisters and her siblings coming out more, developing careers. Kylie's Cosmetics was a phenomenon, and we're going to see more of that family. I'm wondering if we're even going to see a lot more of Kris Jenner, who's sort of the mom and managing all this.
Interesting. All right. Well, Christina, thank you so much for being here. What a year.
My pleasure. Yes, wasn't it?